Just be waiting on
You are now watching the most talked about TV show in your city. I'm LB Johnson.
And this your boy Buck Dangerous.
And this is Shut Up and Talk
TV.
Buck, how you feeling?
I'm still full, man.
From Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
What you eat, bro?
Air pies, wind pudding.
What?
Man.
What is air pies and wind pudding?
Not a damn thing, bro.
You didn't have no Thanksgiving food?
No, man.
Why?
I got snowed in up there.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why I
forgot you was coming to my house.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I really thought maybe you had ran into somebody.
Nah.
They invited you.
If you do that, they feel like you special.
Especially Thanksgiving.
I don't want nobody to feel like that, you know.
God.
You didn't see my post? I said that's the worst thing about living in the Heights.
Bro. All right, well, you know we got all the things, everything, bro. You got to come through.
I'm coming through.
I had a ball. I got food.
I saw.
Cooked a lot of good things, man. Had the family in town.
Yeah.
My little sister came through. Shout out to Odessa. She drove in from Arizona. And it was a trip, bro, because she drove through. And mind you, we had talked about it the day before. We knew it was going to be snowing.
Yeah.
They said all the outskirts supposed to be snowing. We didn't know it was going to be snowing in the city.
Yeah.
But she got ran off the road by one of the diesel trucks.
I saw that.
Now, I love my sister to death.
Wait a minute, though, because, hold up.
She got like a little four-door Nissan or something.
Is it an exaggeration?
No, well, here's the problem. She really got ran off, no question. So, I'm upset about it. I'm like, what? Somebody ran off the road? You know, the diesels, they be big trucks.
Yeah.
So I sent shout out to the homie. Got to shout out Derek Scott, man. Good friend.
Scott.
Known him for years, tattoo artist, everything. But he was out there in Laguna. I called him, and then she was right outside of Laguna. He actually went with his truck, pulled her out with his change.
Yeah.
Shout out, got to give him props for that. But
what is it legit?
Bruh, when I asked her what happened,
did she get Dukes of Hazzard off the road?
She was driving, and mind you, she's a photographer and videographer. That's what she does.
Yeah.
So when she's driving and sees snow, let me pull out my camera phone. I gotta get this footage.
Wow.
She didn't tell me this till after we got her out the snow. So I'm like, you got ran out the road, or you wasn't paying attention? Needless to say, I don't think she was paying attention. But I'm glad she was all right.
She got here safe.
She got out. She's made it to the spot. We had a lot of fun, good time.
Yeah.
Just family, bro. That's what it's all about to me. To come to Thanksgiving. Again, got to shout out everybody that donated turkeys, man. Living Water Miracle Center. Shout out to Subway for helping us, man.
Yes.
Everybody that was involved. The homegirl Rock came through. She donated some turkeys. It was a great event. We were able to help
Reverend Pastor Jamar.
Yes, we were able to help a lot of families, man. And honestly, that's what it's about. End of the day, we'll do it again for Christmas, man. I'm excited about what we're doing in that as far as the whole food pantry and everything we'll be doing. We'll be talking about more about that in the near future.
Yes.
So y'all look out for that. But we got to talk about what's going on right now, man.
What we have today? What do we have today?
A good friend of mine, man. I've known him for years. David Wade, man. He's an artist, amazing singer, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, I believe. That's one of the questions I got to ask him.
Everybody knows David, man. Everybody.
Been doing these things for years, but it's funny. I don't think everybody knows the David Wade of today because when I told Boss Man, we got David Wade live on the show. First thing he said is, well, he got to send us a radio edit.
I saw that. He was like, does he have a clean version?
He was nervous. I mean, because if anyone knows, David Wade, used to sing R&B, songs, love songs, all of the above. David Wade is now, and I want to get the correct title. Another question we'll have to ask him is he a Christian artist? I know some like to call it more like just life music, positive music. So I want to get the exact of what he considers himself today. But he is definitely doing more uplifting, positive music, and he's actually going to be live with us today because he's premiering his new video.
Okay.
This video is huge, man.
Yeah.
It's called
Altar. You talked about this last week. Yeah. And so, you pulled your little strings and
I had to get him
now we on the show.
I got to be honest, bro, literally, and I don't do this a lot with a light. It has nothing to do with me knowing him. To me, that was a plus. But when I first heard this song, bro, and I heard a snippet on Instagram.
Right.
Just a snippet, like all of 20 seconds, if that, and was blown away.
Yeah, you told me. You were
juiced. Me
juiced.
as soon as I heard it, I was
like, you were juiced.
I told him, as soon as the song drops, bro, I got to hear it. Shout out to his wife, actually. We're at church. We actually attend the same church. And I was telling him, man, when the song's finished, let me get it. She's like, I got it right now. So she's like, I'll email it to me. And Dave was like, yeah, it's cool. He sent me the song, bro. Amazing song. The video finished. He premiered it a couple weeks ago at the church. And now this actually be the first official premiere for us. Shut Up and Talk.
There we go. Yep.
So, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's actually show the video right now. And Buck, I want to get your reaction. I want to know what you think about this video.
All right.
And then we'll come back. And we'll talk about it a little bit.
Let's go.
Today I give it all to you, Lord. Today I give it all to you, Lord. Let me be your living sacrifice. Just let your fire burn deep down inside. Today I give it all to you, Lord. 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 Let me be your living sacrifice. Just let your fire burn deep down inside. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you, Lord. Lord, can you hear me now? Lord, can you hear me now? Lord, just set a fire in me. Lord, just set a fire in me. Lord, can you hear me now? 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 Lord, just set a fire in me. Lord, just set a fire in me. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you, Lord. I'm laying it down at the altar. I give it all to you, Lord. I'm laying it down at the altar. I give it all to you, Lord. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down. I'm laying it down for you. I'm laying it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all. Lord, I give it all to you. Lord, I give it all to you. Lord, I give it all down at the altar. Lord, I give it all to you.
back.
We are back. This is Shut Up and Talk TV. I'm LB Johnson.
And this your boy Buck Dangerous.
And live in the building right now, we have artist David Wade. Welcome to Shut Up and Talk TV, brother.
How you doing, sir?
Thank you.
Wow. Literally, we just watched his video before we went to break. The song is Altar. And literally, man, watching that video is a trip. I've seen it several times, and I'm just now seeing nuggets that I didn't realize in the video. What inspired that video, man?
Jesus. It was pretty much about you're doing good. I don't know if you noticed that the little girl was actually the nurse.
Right.
The guy that's in the hospital bed and that she saved was actually the paramedic that saved her when she was little.
Wow.
So it was just saying do good stuff and good stuff will come back.
Like you reap what you sow, literally.
Exactly.
You never know who you run into.
Exactly.
That was dope.
But this was your first time checking out the video.
Yes.
What you think?
I thought it was awesome because nowadays, I hate to say this, we hate to say this. Back in our day, videos told the story.
There you go.
And that there told, it was a complete circle. It was, everything was intertwined. And I like it because you had to watch everything to understand it. You couldn't get halfway through and be like, oh, I know what this is going to be about.
Well, it reminds me, it's like some of the greatest videos ever. And of course, first one coming to mind is Thriller. And we loved it because it's a story, but it's also an entertaining story.
Right.
With the dancing and, and all the costumes and things. And literally watching that, like you said, one, you're at the screen like what's going to happen next.
Right.
But then all those little stories that kind of, unfold within each other.
Right.
And it's amazing, man. I love the video because of the concept, but also the song because it's very, to me, plain, but a lot of us, we don't think about it nowadays. And it's like literally getting to a point in your life where you're not supernatural. You can't fix it. You don't know what to do, and you have to put it in God's hands. You got to lay it all on the altar.
Right.
For you, when you were writing that song, was there an individual story, or what brought up that song?
That was actually my first Christian song. I mean, the last 2 years I was working on my R&B album. Just finished it. We're ready to do the video. The guys that did this video, we were going to do a song called Dark Side. And it was police and wolves and all kinds of stuff going on. And started singing at church and got a new calling. So I stopped the album. We didn't put out the album. We didn't do the video. This was the first song that I ever wrote in Christian music.
Wow.
And we got with the guys that we with Dark Road, and that's what it turned out to be.
I have to ask a question because when we're in church, we have a saying called "Let them use you," and it looks like that's what's happening with you. Did you catch any flack from people who are used to the R&B David Wade? And they're like, "What are you doing?" And then you come and say, "You know what? I'm stopping this project. This is where I want to go." How many people were upset with that?
I did until I released that. At first, I had everybody saying, "What are you doing?" And
right.
And then when they heard that, they were like, "Okay, now I get it."
They understand.
But I did lose over 1,000 followers on Instagram and this and that. You know what I mean? And it doesn't bother me because I'm out I'm saving souls and I'm out doing something that I'm supposed to be doing and not just messing around.
Right.
And I want to be clear. A lot of times when you hear about people going into doing Christian music, whatever, it's going to be like, well, what album? You were an accomplished secular singer, so to speak. Artist. Touring. You're literally one of the top R&B artists in the Southwest, doing your thing. And so for you. Was it something that was it a whisper that turned into a loud call where you knew I got to get this up?
It was hard. I mean, I was fighting with everybody, fighting with my wife especially about it because she was like, I think you should at least look into it. And I'm like, ain't nothing can take me out of R&B.
Wow.
And that's what I've done, and that's what I've done since day one. That's how I got my name. I mean, like you said, we toured the nation, and then all of a sudden to stop and say, well. Yeah. I think, and it really was church. I mean, Living Water Miracle Center was just too powerful. I mean, church and my wife, between them two, I sang at church. I saw the people's reactions and people crying and falling out. And I said, you know what? Then I think I need to be doing this instead of in that club, in that concert.
Man, does your wife have a young auntie that's single or something? Man, I need that in my life. Somebody that can make a positive change for you.
She's my rock.
That's awesome. That's dope.
She holds me down. She's my rock. So. I mean, I love her more than anything in this world for everything she's done for me.
Like I said, she got a young single auntie, Shooter Bucks way. I gotta say this, El. Yeah. I know I want to just touch on this because we talked about Kanye's change, and I don't see eye to eye on it. So I want to know, what is your perspective on that? Do you believe that this is something that he really feels, or
At first I didn't. At first I
right.
thought it was a scheme.
gimmick,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a gimmick. But now that I'm seeing him touching people with everything he's doing, and I know God can change anybody. So
Right.
I'm kind of getting to a point now where I'm like, okay, he's real. He's God got him.
Yeah.
It's the same as me. I wasn't gonna quit doing my things. That's what I did. That's what I was known on, and then it just boom, it gets you.
just never know when
Well,
it'll hit you.
and honestly, for me, even with Kanye, I didn't believe it. Like I believed like all the hype. Oh, he just another way to sell records and everything. Until I heard him talk, and for me, he came on Jimmy Kimmel as a surprise guest a couple weeks back or months back,
Right.
and he sounded like your best friend that got when you get saved. And if you grew up in the church, as I did, when that person gets saved and they go to church and they just want to testify.
Yeah.
And everything out their mouth is Jesus this and God this. They just want to let everybody know.
Everything
And he sounded
out.
like a gleeful, almost child about God. And he wasn't bragging about him or about
Right,
anything
right.
he had. And that's when I was like, listen to what he's saying. And that's when I believed. That's when I was like, he legit sounds like he's made some real changes.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's for me. And I know it's hard, especially as one, black folks, because automatically we already question
We
skeptical as is.
You what?
And then, we're probably the first people to pull our own people down
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of lifting
yeah.
them up.
Yeah.
But it's so that's always part of the worry when you decide to make any changes. And for you, when it came time to, I guess, kind of make that announcement, and for you, I
Yeah.
guess the announcement came with this video.
Yeah.
For those that didn't already know, that see more on the day to day. But when you make that announcement, did you feel like you needed to kind of proclaim and let your fans, are those ones that are kind of watch hey, I did change and this is where I'm at now?
That's where I was at. I mean, at first I was gonna trick him, so I was gonna go do my R&B shows and do all that stuff and throw in those things and then be like, "What is this? What is this?" And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna come out and
Right.
and let him know I'm a changed man. I'm a saved man.
I'm glad you didn't do that because first thing that comes to mind is Fantasia. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Yes,
But
yes.
Fantasia is an amazing vocalist.
Yeah.
We know she grew up in the church. Fantasia will be half naked on stage and start
And
singing
just-
a gospel
and
song.
just start testifying.
And I'm like, yeah, I might be praying, but I'm praying like this.
I'm looking at you.
Like, come on, Fantasia,
Let me
put some
put some
drawers
hands
on.
on you. Let me put some hands on you.
With the release of Altar, what do you hope to see accomplished through this song and through this video?
People being changed. I mean, people that were like me, that were stubborn and saying, I am not going to do this and I'm not going to let Jesus work. And I've always believed in Jesus. I've always believed in God, but I didn't live for God. I didn't live a good life. I was sitting there trying to kill people and selling drugs and doing everything that I wanted to do. So.
And I got to ask one question only because I heard it. How much time we got? Because I don't see no cards.
Overtime. Keep going.
Yeah, whatever. Look, I'm like you told your testimony at church, and I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, but like you just said, you was out there trying to kill people, different things, and the whole time, actually, your mom is in law enforcement. Or was in law enforcement. Correct?
Homicide detective, yeah. So she was.
Wow.
She was
saw it all.
arresting people that were killing people, and I was out there trying to kill people.
She was looking for you and didn't know, basically.
Didn't know I was living with her. I was right there.
Let everybody know how they can get in touch with. If they have questions, if they want to download more of your music, if they want maybe just prayer, maybe they just want to hear your testimony more in detail. How can they get in touch with David
Yeah,
Wade?
right now my Facebook, Instagram, come to church, Living Water Miracle Center, come see me.
There you go.
We're singing there mostly every Sunday. Now we're going to start again. But the album and the album's in the works, so we're about 10 songs in. Single's going to be released probably in this next week or two.
Cool.
So they'll be able to get it on all markets. So just look out for me. But if you want to holler at me, like I said, my Facebook, Instagram, Dave Wade Music, and come see me.
There
And
we
we'll
go.
put up links as well, man.
Yes, we will.
Facebook.com/ShutUpAndTalk official if you want to get more information on David Wade. Let's take a break. Ill Style.
I wanna see y'all who wanna plan with me. Wave your hands across the land and we family. Say hot damn, we want a jamboree. It's for my peeps here. I stand for you cause you stand for me. Come on, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, I know I jam. Oh, Corey, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, why don't you jamboree for me? Kaboom, yes, kaboom, number two came on in, 8 limbs and Timbs. Broke brim, smoke.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
for the memories. Remember me, no remedies or in the vicinity or catch a cap like a Kennedy. Cause I'm the superwoman rapper of this era. Hell, chasing MCs, got them on the run like Smurfs from Asriel. No bluff, the magic I puff, a show can show enough. I'm taking a bite of the rappers if my name was MC Nipper.
She's hotter than the Southland on fire.
All your MCs desire to run through my fire. I turn their heads like the Exorcist while flexing this. Cause it's the Super Soul Sis.
We are back to this Shut Up and Talk TV. Of course, I'm LB Johnson.
And this your boy Buck Dangerous.
Got to shout out David Wade for stopping by, man, and dropping off that hot video, man.
Man.
Altar. Again, y'all can check that out right now on YouTube. Just look up David Wade. He said they putting the finishing touches on the album.
Right.
And that'll be out real soon. We'll make sure to have him back to perform live in the studio. But let me ask you, because we brought it up during the interview, and like you were saying, you know, the whole skeptical about Kanye. And I even mentioned one thing we good for, we are skeptical of us when it come out though. But for you, what is your worry? I guess
About what?
When it come to like Kanye, not just Kanye.
Well, the worry is this. The worry isn't about him.
Yeah.
The worry is I know that we have a lot of people that follow religion. And so a lot of things have been done with religion, manipulation and all this stuff. Like we talked the other day, we have people who are leading churches who are messing with little kids, taking money. And I just don't want to see another one of us using religion in the wrong way because, hey, if we follow religion during slavery, we following it damn sure now. So
and that's the one thing I can definitely respect about it is I mean, you know, we can go down the line and we've seen it a lot. You know, you think even with the Jim Jones incident.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of us at Jim Jones church.
Not the rapper, y'all. We're talking about the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah,
we ain't talking about
man. Google Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, that's all
y'all
you
don't
need
know
to
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But you know, and just sadly, a lot of times in history, there's been a lot of times. One thing about me, I got out of being religious and the idea of religion a long time ago. I consider myself spiritual.
Spiritual, there you go.
I believe in God. I try to follow the Bible to the best of my, but I'm not perfect and I don't claim to be. For me, when I heard Kanye, just knowing his testimony, what he's been through prior to, that's why it's kind of like, I hope. Just like when Mace. You hope. You heard Mace tell the stories of he left hip hop because, what he seen and what he witnessed. Then he came back at first as the Christian rapper, and then before long, he was right back on tour as Murder Mace.
Okay, here's my problem with the whole Kanye thing, and I know we're not really talking about Kanye, but we are. I like to use him, and I'll say this for a pastor as well. Come on. If you lived a certain life, don't get saved and then take a big dump on the people that still living that life. You should be a testimony and say, hey, it's okay. I was in that world. But this is where I'm at now. There's room for you guys. The thing that I don't like is don't look back to where you were and basically just talk down on those people. Because you was there. You were there.
Exactly. And he should kind of know where they're at and what they're going through. It took him a long time to get to the point where, let's be honest, it took a psychotic break. I mean, for lack of a better way of saying it, for him to get to the point where he's like, you know what? I need to make some changes. And, and for him, the change was the cross, so to speak, and getting closer to God, which I respect, but I do understand what you're saying.
Because I'm going to go back to David Wade's video. That's what his video was. You never know where you'll end up again. So don't get into a better position and think you're better than anybody else and then look down on the people who are in the same position you were.
The one thing I will say, and I have to agree with what you're saying, is because there are some people that just right off back turned off of Kanye because of what he's done. From him shaking hands and continuing to be close to Trump and saying we chose slavery and all of the comments he's made. So there's a lot of people that right off back was like, turned off to any idea. He could have came out and said anything and they would have still, just because of what he's done before. So I do agree. I think you have to be very tactful about how you do it. And that's why I like how with David Wade, for him, he's not getting on no pulpit or he didn't make no big old post, change your ways because I changed mine. But he's putting out first his music. And to me, his music, his video is literally telling everyone, this is what I had to do. I had to lay it all on the altar. And that's what I'm still doing. Like his song is not saying I'm perfect and I'm a holy roller and now his song is only saying that I got to a point where I had to lay it on the altar. The video is saying, to me, it's one, like you said, you truly do reap what you sow. So you never know. We talk about all the time, don't burn bridges in this industry. Here, you never know when you're going to see that individual or need that individual again. So many lessons to be learned. And that's why I liked that song when I heard it. And the video is just powerful to me. The videos, it brings you back to reminding you, there's still good to be had. You know, we talked about it, last week on the show about this being Thanksgiving. 'Tis the season to give. And we're not talking about season meaning just like Christmas, but give back, help others, you know, and that's what that video is all over that video is helping others. And because they helped others, that paramedic years later, when he had a heart attack or whatever the case may have been, that nurse that he helped when she was a kid was able to help him.
I like it. I like it because it's something that's relatable. It's not something that's forced.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what we were saying. My ex-wife, you know, she was like, we need to go to church.
Yeah.
And I would go to her church, and I stopped going because the pastor would always get up there and point at his wife and say, you see her over there? I never touched her until we got married. And I was like, well, shoot, we ain't married and I'm touching like a mug. Like, don't put me down just because. That's what I'm saying. You never know who is listening to you, especially when you're leading a church or you're trying to spread a religion. Everybody doesn't take the same path.
A huge pet people that, and again, I'm not knocking any church, any pastors. Kudos to pastors that didn't go through anything. You know, there are some that, hey, you had a square background.
I need my pastors with some bullet holes.
I remember a pastor. I heard a pastor. He was he was bragging about not having sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool for you. But you didn't grow up how I grew up, where I grew up.
Man, let's be real, man. You ugly, bro. You don't look like us. We pulling them, baby. Like I'm just saying. If you look like us, you have a whole lot of conviction going on.
What am I supposed to do?
Some handsome men up in here. What you talking about?
Somebody got to plead. Look, touch and agree.
Well,
right?
Half of your church is touching. What are you talking about?
Say, when 2 or 3 are gathered. That ain't about threesomes? Let me stop. That was wrong. Lord, forgive me.
You know what? I need to go to your church now. I ain't been yet, but I'm going now.
That was a joke. Lord, forgive me.
He gave you that sense of humor, man.
Yeah, man.
He gave that to you. Don't never.
I agree with you.
Don't downplay me just because.
And this goes back to what you're saying about Kanye. Even as a pastor, you can't stand up there and the Bible says there's no condemnation for those that are in God. You're not supposed to condemn folks. You shouldn't. Nobody should be in the pulpit in the congregation feeling bad because of preaching. Now, I'm not talking about conviction. Conviction is different. If you feeling convicted,
that's
about
on yourself.
That's because
on yourself.
You know you're doing something you shouldn't. But when someone's sitting there literally preaching against what somebody's doing, because just because the pastor done got delivered. That don't mean everybody else got delivered.
I tell you what, I'm touching and tithing. That don't matter until you then do it.
Look, I was talking to my nephew the other day, and I was telling him, I said, everybody's sins is different, bro. And the reality is, and again, I'm not knocking any preachers, any pastors. I love and I do believe in God, all that good stuff. But a majority of pastors sit on the pulpit fat.
You always say that.
And one of the 7 deadly sins is gluttony.
Gluttony.
That's eating, overeating.
Yeah.
So that's no bigger sin than fornication, drug use, alcohol, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you named off all my sins.
Look, I'm talking.
Damn near.
So to me, overall, it should be across the board. Sin is sin.
Yeah.
Just like any other sin, you need to pray about it, be delivered from, but let God do that.
Yeah. Let's do this, Al, because we don't want to run over. Y'all stay on the live feed. We'll continue to talk to it, and let's go out with DJ Ill Style.
Yeah.
I feel like a king, yeah, 'cause I just kissed my baby. And money don't mean a thing to me, no, 'cause I just kissed my baby. Feels so good, 'cause I just kissed my baby.